Welcome to the Reese Report. I am the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese, and we are back for week 8 of the NFL season. I am joined today by Gil Santos. Now, we can no longer call him the Iron Man because he missed last week. We'll let Gil explain himself as to why he wasn't here last week.
I still have a cough.
He's still sick, eh? As you can see, we are not joined this week by Jose Gomes. So Gil and Jose are taking turns not being on the show. But Jose had to work, so he has a legit excuse. So we'll give him that one. So we're just going to call Gil Santos. I'm not even sure he likes that nickname from his ball hockey days. So we're just going to call him Gil Santos for now. And we're going to start with our picks this week with a game that I am very, very interested in what Gil is going to take. Because his Green Bay Packers are heading to the undefeated Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray. Just to let you guys know, last week, Jose and I were 10-3. Gil was 9-4 on the season. We will put up our records at the end of the show. Please subscribe and share so we can get more viewers, get more people listening, watching. But for now, let's see what Gil likes on Thursday night when Green Bay plays the undefeated Cardinals. Gil, what do you like in this one?
This is the game. This is the game, Andrew. This is
the one?
This is the one where Arizona falls.
Oh, no way. I can't believe he's taking Green Bay. No way.
It's going to be a big factor is if Devontae Adams is COVID-free, they will win guaranteed. If not, I expect them to just use Aaron Jones more in the running and in the air. And don't be surprised if he gets Lazard in there.
Mm-hmm.
So Green Bay's defense, if they can stop the run, they'll stop the air. I think they'll stop Murray in the air, but Green Bay's problem with big games has always been stopping the run.
Yeah.
It hasn't been stopping the quarterbacks. It's always been stopping the run. The NFC games with your Colin Kaepernicks ran for like 200 yards, beat them. And then Mozart ran for 200 something yards. So the Green Bay Packers in these big games, if they stop the run, they win.
Okay, I've got Arizona, and I've got Arizona because Green Bay's defense is not going to be able to stop Hopkins, Kyler Murray, Kirk, and God knows what else they have on that team. They're also not going to be able to stop Chandler Jones from getting to Aaron Rodgers. This is the game that Green Bay has every year in the middle of the season that they get destroyed.
No. You know a game that is, Andrew? For all the viewers, you might say, oh, Gil's just going to take Green Bay all year. No, I'm not. The team that's going to beat Green Bay, so I'm going to go against Green Bay. I'll tell you already in advance, it's going to be the LA Rams.
Okay. So the main reasons I'm taking Arizona is no Devontae Adams. I from what I understand, he's going to miss the game with COVID protocol or COVID.
Not yet. He has to have 2 negative tests. You already got one.
Right.
If tomorrow he's negative, he's actually eligible to play.
Yeah. Arizona has everything in their arsenal to beat Green Bay. I think Green Bay's been lucky a couple of games this year, winning in the last second, especially against Cincinnati, who might be the surprise team of the NFL. We'll talk about them later. I don't think Green Bay gets lucky with this one. I think Arizona takes them out by 14. Jose also has Arizona in this one.
That's what I like to hear.
Yes.
And you said they're going to take them out by 14.
I expect a 31-17 scoreline in this one.
Are you crazy? If anything happens in this game, even if Green Bay loses this game, it'll be the last 2 minutes. It's whoever has the ball at the end is going to win this game. You're telling me Green Bay's going to lose by 14 points on a Thursday nighter.
I've seen Green Bay on the road this year, and they've snuck by. They're not going to sneak by Arizona.
Well, they're not going to lose by 14.
When Green Bay loses, they lose by a lot, Gil.
True. Well,
think about all their losses when they've lost 2 or 3 games in a season. They always get beat down by 30 in the games they lose. So that's what I expect. Green Bay usually wins close games because Crosby doesn't miss field goals. So I expect Green Bay.
I saw miss like 3 or 4 against Cincinnati.
Should have lost that one, but Crosby had a bad game. He's entitled to one. But I got Arizona in this one. We'll see. This is going to be an interesting game on Thursday. Certainly Gil's game of the week. But we have a lot of interesting games this week. So let's move on to not a really interesting game. But Cincinnati, the surprise team of the NFL, in my opinion. Jamar Chase, if I said that right, and Joe Burrow are easily the top combo in the NFL right now. They played together in LSU, correct, Gil?
Yes.
Yes. And they just took apart the Baltimore Ravens. I've been going against the Baltimore Ravens all year, and I didn't last week. And what happens? Cincinnati destroys them 41-17. Lamar Jackson finally got exposed, and we'll see what happens in that division. But Cincinnati now leads that division. Who would have ever thought that would be the case? They play the Jets, who just signed Joe Flacco. Gil, I don't think this is a hard game to pick. Who do you have?
Well, even if Joe Flacco comes in, but it ain't on this game, I'm going to take Cincinnati.
Yes, I have Cincinnati, and Jose has Cincinnati as well. To the toughest game of the week, Tennessee, the Red Hot Titans, who are coming off home wins over Buffalo and Kansas City, go to Indianapolis to play the pretty hot Indianapolis Colts. Now that they've gotten healthy, Gil and I talked about this early in the year. Wait a few weeks until they get healthy. Then the Colts will become a factor. That's exactly what has happened. I picked them to beat my 49ers last week, confident that they would. It was a rainstorm, but they did pull it off. Gil, who do you have in this one?
Well, as Indy's improving with the running game and Wentz looks a little more comfortable, like I always said all year, this team never looked comfortable. They're getting there, but then Tennessee's on a high all of a sudden. So Henry, they're beating good teams. They beat Buffalo. They beat Baltimore. So I think I got to go with Tennessee on this one. They're just too hot.
I am going to take Indy. Carson Wentz is still a disaster. Proof of that is that turnover he had in the San Francisco game where he's falling to the ground and throws a one-hander like he's Brett Favre right into the other team's hands. Brett Favre can do that, Carson Wentz. You can't. Just ask Gil Santos.
I know. I saw that.
Okay? You're not Brett Favre. Stop trying to be Brett Favre. If Carson Wentz, and that's a big if, guys, but I'm going to take a chance. If he doesn't turn the ball over, which is a big if, then Indy wins this game. So I'm going to take Indy. If Wentz turns the ball over, Tennessee wins the game. It's as simple as that. Jose went back and forth on this about 4 times and finally decided to take Tennessee. So he didn't know who to take in this one, but he went with Tennessee. So as you can tell, this is a pick'em game, and that's exactly how we're picking it, a pick'em game. So we'll see what happens in that one. To a game that we're going to spend less than a minute on, LA Rams at Houston. Gil.
Rams.
I
don't even need to explain myself.
Rams. We all have the Rams in this one, folks. This will be most people's survivor pick, along with another game that we're going to talk about later on if they haven't been picked already. So now we go to a game that interests me and what Gil's going to take. Maybe even what I'm going to take too. The Pittsburgh Steelers off a bye week and rumors that their coach is going to go to USC, taking on the Cleveland Browns with, I don't even know who's playing for them. Like, they have so many injuries. I don't even know who's left on the roster. Gil, who do you got in this one?
I thought about this one, and I think you can't piss off Pittsburgh Steelers, so I'm going to go Pittsburgh. I think Tomlinson's upset to have these rumors mid-season while teams fighting for playoffs, distractions. He was upset. I think the players are going to play for him. Cleveland looks like they have injury problems. They don't know who to start. Cleveland is at home, but I don't know. They just have too much injuries. Chubbs, Hunt, you just don't know.
Yeah.
Mayfield. I think Steelers are going to steal one in Cleveland.
Yeah, I got the Steelers too in this one. I have zero confidence in their quarterback, but their defense is solid. And Cleveland just, I don't know what happened to their offense, but if they don't have Nick Chubb, they can't score. Nick Chubb is a question mark right now. He may or may not play, but since we're making the picks now, I'm going to assume that he and Mayfield, who has a separated shoulder, are not going to play. And therefore, Pittsburgh, with their defense, gets this done. They beat Buffalo, and Buffalo, they can beat Cleveland in Cleveland. This is also kind of a revenge game for last year's playoffs when Cleveland absolutely destroyed them in Pittsburgh. So I'm going to go with Pittsburgh on this one, hoping that Big Ben has just a little bit left. there's not much in the tank though. Jose has Cleveland in this one.
That's
Now,
good.
yes, that's good. We need to catch up to him. We go to Philadelphia at Detroit. Jalen Hurts versus the gambling Detroit Lions, who pulled off 2 onside kicks, 2 fake punts, and God knows what else to try to beat the Rams, and it still didn't work, although they gave a good fight. That was their Super Bowl. They lost. I expect a big letdown in this game. But the Eagles are as unpredictable as the Detroit Lions right now. So who do you got in this one, Gil?
This one was actually a tough one for me. Because Detroit's 0-7. I still believe they don't deserve to be 0-7. But
That's right.
you know, they've been playing their hearts out. Eventually they're gonna get that one game. Is it this one? I don't know. It might be. And the only reason I'm picking Philly is because I did take them to win the division. So I'm gonna take Philly, but I would not be surprised if the Lions pull out a win on this one.
Yes, I agree completely with Gil on what he said. I don't have to add anything to that. I have Philly because if there's an outside chance, and I believe this is the case because I've had a calf injury before, I believe Dak Prescott's going to miss a couple of weeks. They can say all they want that he's going to play. If he does, he's going to play unhealthy. Calf injuries are no joke. They don't go away in 2 weeks. So that leaves Philadelphia as the only team who might have a chance to catch them. Philly looks like they're playing hard, but they don't have the talent to compete right now, and they're getting rid of guys. Hurts is trying, but he's inconsistent. He's young. But I'll take Philly because I think Detroit will have a big letdown after losing their Super Bowl last week. So I'll take Philly by 3. Jose has the Detroit Lions getting their first win of the season.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
To a game that will interest both me and Jose, San Francisco goes to Chicago to play the Bears. I was high on Justin Fields coming out of the draft. He's clearly not ready, and he's getting beat up big time by a bad offensive line and bad weather. I hope that it doesn't ruin his career because I think he has some talent, but he's clearly not ready. And he's taking on an equally as injured and messed up team in San Francisco who has a quarterback problem. Who do you got in this one, Gil?
This game for me was just horrible because as a Packer fan, I can't take the Bears. And then watching San Fran play is just, I don't know, it's like watching a horror movie.
Yeah, it is.
So as bad as it is, I'm actually going to take Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, I'm taking San Fran here, and the only reason I'm doing it is because Justin Fields looks like a man who's been defeated by the NFL. I watched him play against Tampa Bay last week, and he looked depressed. He looked like a kid that didn't know what to do with the football. Tampa Bay came for the first time this year with both their offense and defense and took it out on the Bears. It was a big revenge game from last year when the Bears beat him with Nick Foles. I just think he looks like a lost QB right now. Having said that, we have a lost QB ourselves who loves to turn the football over.
I was going to say San Fran looks lost themselves.
Like Jimmy G is the most frustrating quarterback you will ever watch in your life. He'll come up with these crazy drives that you're like, wow, look at him go. Look at this offense. And then he'll throw stupid picks that cost you the game like it did against Indy last week and like it did against Gil's Packers earlier in the year. But because both teams are a disaster, I'm going to pick San Fran to win by a field goal. But I have no faith at all that that's going to happen. But I'll take a chance and take San Fran in this one. Believe it or not, the shocker of the week, Jose has the Bears.
That just to show you how bad it is.
That's how bad that game is.
Yes, it is.
To a game that might shock many of you, but I think we'll have a clean sweep on. The absolutely awful Carolina Panthers with Sam Darnold, who finally got his ass benched for being an awful QB and has put them into the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. They put PJ Walker in at quarterback last week, which probably made Gil laugh. Especially after he made Carolina his best pick of last week, which I was going to just kill him for, but I decided to let him go. They go to play Atlanta, who sneakily, Matt Ryan's got something going with Kyle Pitts. Now, it's not DeMar Chase and Joe Burrow, but we saw last week what the impact Kyle Pitts can have on a football field. So I like what I saw from Atlanta last week. Who do you got in this one, Gil?
I just think the offense in Carolina has gone downhill. For some reason, they started off well.
McCaffrey.
It looked like maybe McCaffrey's the big difference. So I guess they know McCaffrey's a big deal for them.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta's even Patterson. He runs, he catches. He's the top wide receiver on that team, and he's a running back. He runs. So Atlanta's at home. I'm gonna say Atlanta by a field goal.
Yep, I'm gonna take Atlanta. Not the most convincing team in the world, but their offense looks good, and that's enough for me because Carolina can't score. So therefore, I take Atlanta. Jose also has Atlanta. Another game we won't spend too much time on. The disaster that is the Miami Dolphins are going to Buffalo to play the Bills. Miami's in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. It's ramped up. It may happen this week before the trade deadline. I'm hearing Tua's not even in Miami right now because he might be a part of the trade. This one could get ugly quickly. Gil, who do you got?
Buffalo.
Yeah. We all have Buffalo in this one, guys. I'll get into this game a little bit more when we make our best bets of the week. But that's all for now. To a very interesting game. The very unpredictable and inconsistent New England Patriots, who took their anger out on the Jets last week after losing 2 close games. They just ran up the score on the Jets last week. They go to play the Chargers, who are coming off I believe a bye week after getting destroyed by Baltimore. This one's tougher than it may look. Gil, who do you got in this one?
Yeah, you're right. It's New England's gonna come with the ground pound game. Hunter Henry, I think that's gonna be the big fantasy point guy for New England on that. I think tight end is where to go. I don't think they're gonna do any deep balls. I think it's gonna be very slants, play action, nothing deep. They're gonna play the clock, but you have Herbert on the other side where he's not the guy for little shots. He goes deep. He likes to score. So I'm going to take the Chargers.
This one really, really bothered me because I'm not a fan of New England at all this year with Jones at quarterback. I know a lot of people like Jones, but everything with him is short. And you can't win a lot of football games playing the short game. They're trying to play him like they played Tom Brady early in his career, and he's not Tom Brady. He throws too many picks. The Chargers are unpredictable as usual. Gil and I know all about the shitty Chargers. They're very unpredictable. Justin Herbert has given them some reliability at quarterback, but everything else in their game is unpredictable, including their defense and their running game. I'm going to begrudgingly take New England in this one, and I'm only going to take New England because I like their defense sometimes, not all the time. And I just think this is a game that the Chargers lose. Every time I think the Chargers are going to take off and win that division easy, they lose 34-6. So I grant you that the Chargers will probably rebound, but I just got this feeling New England is going to cause them problems on defense. And maybe Jones makes a play at the end to win. They got to win one of these close games, you would think. So, I mean, Dallas, they came real close. Tampa Bay, 2 points. The Chargers are a team that blows games at the end. I'll take a chance and take New England.
You've been talking to Lino this week, haven't you?
Nope, didn't say a word up to Lino this week. Not a word. Jose has the Chargers. So that's my out on a limb pick this week. To a game that no one is going to watch, unless you're a Trevor Lawrence fan. Jacksonville goes to Seattle to play Geno Smith. I mean, do I really have to say any more than that? Gil, who do you got in this ugly game?
Oh, man.
Jacksonville coming off a bye week. I don't know if that means anything. Urban Meyer's first bye week.
Coming off a win too
Yeah, coming
in
off a win.
London.
Yeah.
And Seattle, I don't know. I watched Seattle, New Orleans. It was
They played tough, but
it was an ugly game.
yeah.
Seattle, though, Wilson's going to struggle to score.
Yep.
My thing now in this game is how can the Seattle defense hold Jacksonville's offense? Because Seattle, I don't see them scoring that much.
No.
But Geno Smith. Oh man. Oh Lord.
Both quarterbacks are bad. I mean, it's
Robinson.
Yeah.
And then Seattle has Collins and you know what? I'm gonna go by names. I'm gonna take Jacksonville.
All right. I took Jacksonville, guys, simply because they came off a bye week, and I just think Trevor Lawrence has to win this game. You can't lose to Geno Smith. If you're a number one pick, you can't lose to Geno Smith. I know Jameis Winston was a number one pick and barely beat him 13-10, but we know what Jameis Winston's problem is. Even Big Ben barely beat them at home. This is why the Pittsburgh Steelers are like a horrible team, because they barely beat teams like Seattle at home when they should crush them. I'll take Jacksonville simply because they're coming off a bye week, and Trevor Lawrence has to beat Geno Smith. That's it. No other reason. That's the only reason. Jacksonville. Gil, you took Jacksonville, right?
Yep.
Jose has the Seabags. This could be an interesting week, guys. A lot of different picks. To a game that, again, I'm going to hate because I hate these two teams, and I'm not going to watch this game. The Washington football team, I don't even know what to say about that team. And I don't even know what to say about this team, but Gil's about to laugh. But they're going to play the Denver Broncos, who I don't even know if they have an offense. Like, their defense, I feel bad for, because their defense is good and they're falling apart because their offense can't score any points. Teddy Bridgewater is what he is, and he's not gonna score you many points. He'll keep you in the game. He's like Tyrod Taylor, not gonna turn it over too much. They're gonna be bad in the red zone. This is what it is. Gil, I honestly have no idea who I like in this game, but I'll just pick something at the end. Who do you got?
Believe it or not, this is the game that I'm gonna have my lock as Denver.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Explain to me why.
So I just feel like they're going to use the ground and pound game. They have two healthy running backs. They have Melvin Gordon. They have Williams. They're going to bounce back and forth, ground and pound the game. Washington's offense with Heineke. I don't think I never was a fan of Heineke. Whatever his name is. I don't even know what his name is. Heineke, Hennessy, whatever.
Heineke.
Whatever. That wasn't the plan for Washington. It was supposed to be Magic Patrick over there, Fitzpatrick Magic. He got hurt, unfortunately, so that hurt them. But Washington's offense has been very unpredictable, easy to read. They play a very basic offense where, for a defense like Denver, will be able to stop them. So I feel like, and Denver will kill the clock. I believe it'll still be an under. Denver will win the game by just getting their 2-3 touchdowns, ground and pound the game, and kill the clock with the running backs.
And I am going to take Washington because I have had enough of Denver. Denver's offense sucks. Their defense is struggling now because their offense sucks. Washington, their defense sucks as well, but their offense hasn't been bad. And if you watch that Green Bay game, despite them losing 24-10, they were in the red zone a lot, and Heineke threw picks. Otherwise, that game would have been closer. Another reason why I think Green Bay is going to get pumped this week, because Washington was they were running the ball on them. They were passing the ball well. They just couldn't get in the end zone, and that's why the game ended up 24-10. Washington will outscore Denver. Not saying it's going to be a crazy scoring game, but they're going to outscore Denver because Denver just can't score on offense. I'm going to take Washington in this one. I think they're going to win this one. Jose has Washington. Once again, Gil's either going to catch up or be gone forever on this one. Same with me. To a game that would have been very interesting last year, but maybe not so much now. The GOAT Tom Brady, who is on pace to set NFL records this year. My stupid ass decided to change my MVP pick from Brady to Baker Mayfield. Oh, what a mistake that was. I picked Tom Brady to win the MVP, and he's going to win the MVP the way this is going. He's one of the front runners, but there are other players that could win it over him. He goes to New Orleans to play the Saints, who all of a sudden can't score. And they can't score because Jameis Winston is their quarterback. Who do you got in this one, Gil?
I was very itching for the upset. There's still a little bit of my gut that I feel like New Orleans might pull this off. And if they are going to win the division like I predicted, they have to win this game. They are at home. Kamara's scary. Problem is, there is a man, Tom Brady, on the other side, and I just can't do it. I just got to take Tampa Bay. I was itching for New Orleans. I was itching, but
he's playing too good right now. Gil, are you at all stunned that someone at 44 can do this?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. I'm very surprised. Like, the game got quicker. He's 44. He's on pace with all the guys. No one can get to him very hard. The intelligence of the game comes in, the experience. Mm-hmm. Even when I noticed in our hockey league, as the years went by, the game, as I got older, the game to me just felt like it slowed down. It was easier for me to make my saves.
Yeah.
Right? So
just harder to move around.
Yeah, but it's almost like you already have that experience to time it, to read this is what's coming. Let me read it. Oh, he's going back door. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready 3 steps going to that side. Because I see him. Yeah. It all becomes with experience. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen to everybody. So, I'm happy for him. Mm-hmm. Good for him. And I hope he continues to do this.
But leading the league in touchdowns and yards, is that shocking to you?
Yes. Will it stick? I don't know.
Because last week he did it without any weapons. Brown out, Gronk out. He did it with Mike Evans and a bunch of other guys. It's not like he's only relying on his weapons.
Well, last week was basically Mike Evans.
Yeah, it was Mike Evans.
He relied on Mike Evans for anything.
Yeah.
Lucky for him, Mike Evans caught them. Because, remember, the receiver starts to catch the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, he gets his weapons back this week again. So, let's see what happens, because the Saints defense looked good against Seattle as well. So,
anyone would look good against Geno Smith at quarterback. But I looked at New Orleans and I'm like, this team lost to the G-men at home. They allowed Daniel Jones to beat them at home. How in the hell am I picking an upset in this game? They scored 10 points against the Seabags. I got Tampa Bay winning this game fairly easily. I don't see it, especially if they get their weapons back. Brady just threw his 600th touchdown. I heard someone joke he might get to 700 the way he's going. If he plays 2 more years. I mean, the sky's the limit for this guy at this point. Jose also has Tampa Bay in this one. To the Sunday Nighter, which is one of the games of the week, but maybe not in the opinion of Gil Santos, as Dallas, who we're not sure who's quarterbacking. We're hearing all the right things about, Dak Prescott's calf, but we're not sure. He's going to play the Minnesota Vikings and Kirk Cousins, who inspires zero confidence in anyone other than Minnesota Viking fans. Gil, this is a very uncomfortable game to take. Who do you got in this one?
You're right. And I don't think even in the history I've ever picked games I've taken Minnesota, but I'm going to take Minnesota. I know, yes, you heard it here on the Reese Report first. Yes. I actually took Minnesota for once. Mm-hmm. I don't even care who's quarterbacking. I just feel like Minnesota needs to win this game. Their season relies on it. They're holding on to the 7th spot of the playoffs. So if they want to keep it, they got to keep winning. Dallas is iffy right now about their quarterback. Even if Prescott plays, he's going to be hurt. So I picture them changing their game plan a little bit just based off that, even if they play him hurt. So, and I think Minnesota's going to probably run the ball on them with Delvin Cook. Yeah, Kirk Cousins gonna probably get his interception by Diggs because Diggs has been interceptioning everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But it's they're at home. They have the fans behind them. It's Sunday night. I picture probably Minnesota win.
Yeah, I got Minnesota too. I got Minnesota not because of Kirk Cousins,
No,
because Kirk Cousins' record in primetime games is like 0-14 or something like that. I don't think he's won a single game in primetime. So believe me, I had my mind to take Dallas all the way in this one. But I've had a calf injury, and it's at least a 3-week injury. And I saw Dak Prescott limp, and I'm like, there's no way he was in a walking boot. There's no way this guy's going to be ready in 2 weeks. So if he plays, he will be limited. And Minnesota's defense is decent, pretty good defense. Dalvin Cook can run the ball out of the clock to keep the ball out of their hands. It's revenge for last year, and it's a letdown game for Dallas. See, Dallas is not a typical team on a bye week. McCarthy basically said take the week off. So they haven't been practicing. They've been chilling. They're going to come in unprepared, and Minnesota's going to take them out. I got the Vikings. Jose has the Vikings as well. Clean sweep.
surprised.
Yeah, me too. I'm surprised too. I think it's just a letdown game for Dallas. They're 5-1. They're chilling. Their quarterback's kind of iffy. They're going to have to run the ball more. It's going to be a tight game, probably low scoring too, I think, maybe. To the Monday Nighter, the unpredictable G-Men. They go to Kansas City to play the Chiefs, who are in a lot of trouble. They have a horrible defense. And when I say horrible, I mean one of the worst defenses in NFL history. And it's so bad, it's getting to the point where Mahomes is throwing picks. And I mean, he's trying to do everything and probably trying to do way too much and is throwing the ball away. Now, he's got a little Brett Favre in him as well. Too many off-balance throws, too many hero ball throws, and the league is starting to catch up to it a little bit. So he's got to have better ball control. But when your team's down 7-0 and 14-0 after the first 2 possessions, that's what's going to happen. But this game is no contest. The Chiefs are 3-4. They have to win this game. I think they'll outscore the Giants. Again, the Chiefs are going to outscore teams that they beat, but the teams they can't outscore, they're going to lose to. So I got the Chiefs.
Yeah, I have the Chiefs as well. Like at this point, they're 3-4. If they do not beat the New York Giants at home, they're in trouble. Like if they go 3-5, losing to the Giants, and then I think they have Green Bay after.
Yep.
It's not gonna be pretty for them either with that shit defense too, which they have a worse defense than we do. So So you have to take KC in this game. You have to because it's the logic thing to do.
Yeah,
they're desperate. They're playing a garbage team at home Monday night. They have to win. Taking Kansas City.
So Jose also has KC. I will say this: it's not out of the realm of possibility that the Giants upset in this game. I'm just going to say that because the Chiefs' defense is so bad. Like, if Barkley can play and he's healthy, that opens up the game for Jones, who is a turnover machine. But when Barkley's running well, it sets up the play action, and he's a very good quarterback in play action. I'll tell you what, if they get down early and the confidence gets a little shattered, you could see an upset, but I think Kansas City has to win this game. I just can't see them losing this game, but I wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility. So if you're a survivor pick guys out there that we're going to get to right now, I wouldn't take the Chiefs with your money. To our survivor picks. Nice segue. Gil, who's your survivor pick this week?
I told you, I taking Denver.
Wow, Denver as your survivor pick. Okay. I had a lot of trouble with this because I didn't want to repeat a team that I've already taken. I don't think I've taken Cincinnati yet, so I'll take Cincinnati as my survivor pick. Jose also has Cincinnati this week. I thought about taking KC, but I can't trust KC. Because that was going to be my pick, but I can't trust that team right now. So I decided to go against Kansas City. For point spread pick of the week, Gil, who do you got?
Got my Packers +7.
Packers +7. Is it already up to 7? Okay.
Is it? Let me just double check.
I thought it was 6, but if it's 7, it's 7.
Sorry, it says Cardinals 6.5. So
6.5. Okay, so there's 6.5. Okay. The Packers have had a lot of success going to Arizona, so I can see why you like them. I mean, in the past, they've had success in Arizona.
If they lose, they're losing by 3. They're not going to lose by more than a field goal.
There are a lot of games I could have took because I have outright picks, but I'm going to go with Buffalo because I just think that Miami's a mess. The Bills are coming in off a bye week. They have owned the Dolphins, and I mean owned the Dolphins.
Buffalo's 14.
Yeah, Buffalo's a 14. They beat them 35-0 in Miami with their whole team back when they had hope to still do something this year. Last year, with their backups, they beat them 54-14. They've destroyed them the last 3 games they've played them, so I'll take the Bills as my bet of the week. So that's our picks, guys. For this week.
Did Jose have this point spread or no?
So Jose has Atlanta -3 as his pick of the week.
Not a bad pick.
Not a bad pick at all.
Not bad.
I thought about them, but that's a nice pick as well. So that's our picks for this week, guys. Jose has the lead. You can see that at the end of our video. And we'll show you the records. This is going to be a week where we're either going to catch up or we're going to go behind Jose forever. So this is a big week. So that's our picks for this week. I'd like to thank Gil for joining me. Guys, please share, subscribe, and watch our video and let us know what you think. Give us some comments. Give us your picks. We'd love to hear from you. We're trying to get this show spread out so more people will watch. We're going to do more content, obviously, but we're doing just football right now. We're going to talk about Gil's Devils soon and the start they're off to. We're going to talk about Jose's Leafs and the disaster dumpster fire that team is right now. We're going to, yeah. So go ahead. What do you want to say about the dumpster fire, Gil?
I don't know, but there's nothing to see. There's nothing to say. And any Leaf fan, if they defend what they're watching, then I don't know. Like they must be watching film. And Andrew, not for nothing, but your Raptors are shitting the bed too.
Yes, the Raptors are currently winning by 15 points over the Pacers. They're about to go to 2-3 on the year, but they did shit the bed the first week, and I did a video with the guys at To The Point. Please check them out about how bad the Raptors were. But I like what I'm seeing from OG. We'll talk about him later.
Does Brian still think OG's the next Kawhi? Oh my God!
We'll do an episode on that, Gil. Don't worry. We'll talk about that when it gets further into the season.
Brian, if you're listening, buddy, I don't know. You have to convince me to see what you see that I don't.
We'll do a show with Gil and Brian later on in the year when they played a few games before Siakam comes back, and that will be a fun episode for you guys to do. I'll say this: my Penguins have shocked the hell out of me. But, when you play the Leafs, it's pretty easy stuff. You can play with your AHL team and still win 7-1 because that's what happened. Wouldn't you agree, Gil? I mean, we had Drew O'Connor scoring goals. We had Marcus Pettersson, guys I've never heard of score goals against the Leafs.
You guys won with your C team.
Yeah. Every single player we had except Jake Gensel was out, and I'm dead serious. Every player. So that was a good win. And then, of course, they went to Carolina, and Frederick Anderson embarrassed them, their old goalie, who now goes to 5-0 on the year. The combination of the core four has less goals than Zach Hyman right now, which is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. So, and Edmonton, by the way, is 5-0. So we're going to talk about that later. We'll talk about the Raptors later. But for now, I'm the Mouth of North, Andrew Ace. This is Gil Santos. We'll see you on the next Reese Report.